Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Kev's Doodle Magic. So yeah, in this episode you can see me drawing on a big piece of cardboard that is something I've actually had planned for about 3 or 4 months. I meant to start it straight away, put this piece of cardboard on the wall, stapled it to like the wooden railing going around the outside of the room. Done it months ago and just never got round to it, just like lost interest in the idea. And then last night I thought, oh, I'll just get rid of that piece of cardboard, it's just getting in the way, and I just decided to go for it with in the end I used a Sharpie pen and just kind of freehanded a picture. And that is exactly why I started with the house, because I like freehand drawing like buildings and houses, because I really like putting textures on them, like brick and mortar and the wood, stuff like that. And the shading's always interesting, and I can always just make one side a lot darker than the other, giving like a perspective of light in the picture. But it actually did cause me to get quite stuck later on, because here you can see, well, you'll see soon enough that the light's coming from the top right hand or further to the right hand side of the picture, and the shadows on the left. And then as I started drawing later on, I had to try and like draw the light source, because I wanted to put like a moon in it or something like that, and there was something in the way, which you'll see me draw in a minute. So yeah, I had some problems with that, but I got away with it, I think. So if anyone wants to do anything like this, because I didn't have any paper that was big enough to draw this, like the idea of like pretending to draw on a wall without actually having to draw on my wall. So I just got a big piece of cardboard from like a recycling place in work where they were going to recycle these big boxes, and painted it white with I used 2 £1 tester pots from a DIY store, and just like painted it white, like effectively making a giant canvas for myself. And then I got a Sharpie and a craft pen, which is just a normal permanent marker pen, like a Sharpie but a bit bigger, and just like kind of went at it and started drawing just whatever came to mind. So I started with a house to kind of warm up and get used to drawing like at that height and at that angle on the wall, because it's something I've never done before. And then I got the idea, started getting this feel for the house being like some lonely house in the middle of nowhere out in the desert somewhere, that instead of having like at first I was going to draw like a windmill, and there's weather vane things where the satellite dish is, but instead of drawing that halfway through, I thought, oh no, a satellite would look cooler, because then he could look like some mad UFO nut lived in the house and like spent all his time scanning the skies looking for like the truth out there, and some tinfoil hat wearing man. And that's when I got the idea to like draw the spaceship. And I actually thought I wasn't going to put too much effort into the spaceship, because I knew it wouldn't, because I didn't want to use any sort of pencil lines or anything. I wanted to just like practice freehand with the marker pen. So I thought for the spaceship I could get away with that by just drawing like random shapes, like abstract triangles and squares like mashed together, some hybrids of like normal 2D shapes, and then tried to make them 3-dimensional using like close cross hatching. But for this, you'll notice I didn't really pinpoint any sort of light area or dark area on each shape. They're all kind of random, like, so the shadow might be on the top or the left or the bottom of each shape, like next to each other. I just thought it made it look more metallic somehow, and like, it was kind of well above the sky, well above any sort of light source like the moon or anything. I think it turned out quite well. But then as I finished this, all like the details, I was struggling with it. Like, I was wondering how I was going to fill up the background, because it does look quite bare for now, and you just don't get that perspective of the ship being right above the house, above the field in front of it. So I used China ink, this like black ink, little jar of it that I've had for ages. I actually got from eBay for a few pounds, and I put it in like a plastic cup, just like a shot of it, not measured out, and just slowly diluted it for each part of the picture that I was drawing. So like you'll see in a second, I actually draw like fill a gap of a big shadow in underneath the... Oh yeah, I also meant to mention these electric wires. Thought this gave it some nice perspective as well. This was before I got the idea of using the ink. Thought this was starting to flesh the picture out a bit more and get the wire going quite far back. So I was happy with that. So yeah, for this shadow, this is where I used the China ink. And you'll see what I will have done there is diluted that paint I've used for the shadow with some water and some white spirits. So I've got a lighter shade, and that was for the shading in the picture, just to go over the more darker cross-hatched areas. And I did that for the house, the tree, the mountains and the spaceship and everything. Then next I further diluted the ink with more, I think it was just more white spirits. And I started to try and fill in the grass area in front of the house and the sky above the clouds. But you'll see I do start off using a paintbrush, but like if you look close enough, it is really streaky. So in the end I just used some paper towel dipped into a bucket into the cup full of ink and used that to smooth it all over the cardboard box. And then I kind of buffed that out with dry paper toweling and just give like quite a smooth effect. It looked like it was absorbing into the cardboard quite a bit. And there's that moon in the top right hand corner, creating the source of light in the picture, well, especially on the foreground and the background mountains and everything. Not so much on the spaceship. But yeah, I do think I will do something bigger like this again. Maybe I'll look for a proper canvas this time, but doing it on the cheap cardboard, I do like the way it turned out. I hope you like the way it turned out. So thanks for watching, guys. Any questions, just ask in the comments. Bye.